The Ron Johnson says, I just bought your sub 250 gram 3-inch build and was wondering how to know where restricted airspace is and where is it safe to fly. What do you look for when choosing a spot to fly? I would love to actually help you with that information. How do you know where to fly is the question. So there's a bunch of different apps that can help you with this. The one that I use is called Autopilot, because anything that makes a joke about the Reddit subreddit, pilot, I don't know. Anyway, that's why I've picked this one. It seems to work pretty well for me. And what you're going to do with this app is you are going to tap on the map wherever you want to fly. So here I am. And my place. Look, it's a Freya. Look, that's my Freya. It's marked on the map. Shut up. Is that right? Oh my God, my Freya is in the app. That's so fun. Oh my God, that's so fun. I love it. I didn't actually know that. I've never noticed that before. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to tap on the map where you want to fly. You're going to put this little marker, and it's going to tell you. And if we look here, it says clear to fly, uncontrolled airspace, rules for daylight operations, TFR, etc. You're good to go. Right? Now, if we go over here, it says fly with approval. What does that mean? Well, you must have approval from Knoxville McGee Tyson Airport, Class C, up to 400 feet. So what this is telling me is that I can fly up to 400 feet in this location, but I have to get LAANC approval. Well, how do you get LAANC approval? What you do is you hit continue. You put in your mission altitude. Well, I'm going to go all the way up to 400 feet. Screw you. You hit continue and you submit. I'm not going to submit because I'm not going to get, it doesn't really matter. But let's do it. Let's submit. What the hell? Doesn't matter. Submit. And what it's doing is it's going to a central database and it's telling, I guess I don't 100% know what it's doing. I think it's telling the tower over at Knoxville Airport, hey, there's a dude flying over here up to 400 feet. Now you're good to go. Your request was approved by the FAA. You may fly. Great. I'm good to go. Shut up. Okay. So, in answer to the question, how do you know where it's legal to fly? The place I would start is with an app like this one. Or this one. And it will help you out. And if this app says you're clear to fly, that's probably a pretty good bet that you're clear to fly. Go ahead, Blunty.
Just to add to that, basically, if you get LAANC approval in an area, like if it's all good on your map, the only thing you should really check is TFRs right before you leave for the flight or start the flight.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Autopilot app, it'll tell you about any TFRs, but there might be like a fresh one that just popped up.
Sorry, you're breaking up really bad for me. I'm not sure why.
I'd say, like the Autopilot app, like here's a flight location where we're going to have some restrictions. And if I fly through, do not fly, restricted airspace. It's got all the lists of the reasons why I'm not allowed to fly.
So the FAA will tell you officially you cannot just use the app. TFRs are not guaranteed to be on the app. You must use the TFR website. That's the official answer. That's that's all I can say.
Yeah, I have seen TFRs in the app, but you're saying that the absence of a TFR is not sufficient. So where is this TFR app?
Yeah, the tfr.faa.gov.
So tfr.faa.gov.
Yeah.
And
they have a map and then a search thing up in TFR map there you can look at.
I can see the TFRs, huh? Okay, well, it doesn't look like there's any TFRs near me. Nashville, Oak Ridge, Knoxville. No TFRs.
And then I think I think
And
it
this
gives
is
you like a 2-day window, but there's no guarantee an emergency TFR doesn't pop up. So the way the FAA, the way we've always been told, talking to the FAA, is that as long as you've checked the TFR when you started the flight or right before you left to start the flight, basically within the beginning of the flight window, just like a real pilot isn't always guaranteed to check emergency TFRs after they've taken off.
right.
You don't necessarily, like if you fly through an emergency TFR after you've checked and it was activated after you started flight, you technically shouldn't get in trouble, or you'll at least have some leeway there. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what the onus they expect you to have. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So check the autopilot app, and then check for TFRs, technically. Now, there may be other restrictions. Those are the FAA restrictions, the federal restrictions. There have been more and more like states, cities, counties creating rules about where you can fly. And the way they do it is, well, they're not allowed to regulate the airspace. That's the FAA's domain, purview. But some of them do it anyway. They just pass a law that says, and in a perfect world, the FAA would sue them and say, you can't do that. That often doesn't happen. And sometimes these rules are enforced. But the other thing is what they'll do is they'll regulate takeoffs and landings. So the FAA controls the airspace, but a takeoff or a landing happens on the ground. So they'll say, well, we can't regulate the airspace, but you're not allowed to take off or land from within this park. And there's not a lot you can do about that. So this app, we've outlined, will give you the federal rules, but you need to do your own research about local rules if you want to. Like, so there's a lot of can't fly in city parks, as Koala FPV points out, etc.